Do you feel stuck improving your English no matter how hard you try? In the next few minutes, I'll show you the fastest and quickest ways to increase your fluency. Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Bruce, and welcome to Frustrated to Fluent. This channel helps non-native English speakers in healthcare communicate effectively with their patients, colleagues, and staff. And I'm the founder of the English Communication Academy, and we help non-native English speakers in healthcare communicate effectively. Today, I want to talk about something that is huge in healthcare because a lot of people have crazy, busy, unpredictable schedules, but they feel like their English is getting in the way. And so they feel like I just don't have the time to improve my English. I need it, but I just don't have the time. This video will help solve those problems because there are definitely ways that you can increase your fluency on a tight schedule. All right, let's get to it. Tip number 1, prioritize speaking over having perfect grammar. I know that a lot of people have textbook English, meaning that they know how to read it, they know how to listen to it, and they can speak it into some capacity. However, there's a language gap between the textbook English that you know and the everyday working man's English that you need in order to communicate effectively. And so it's so important to bridge that gap. One way to get to the everyday speaking English that you need in healthcare is to prioritize speaking. So yes, the textbook stuff is absolutely essential. You wouldn't even be able to communicate if you didn't have that. But at some point, you need to focus more on actually speaking, prioritizing using simple and clear language. One way to do that is just to add simple little exercises into your schedule each day. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but the whole point here to increase your fluency quickly is to just have the mental mindset to prioritize it. Just say, I need to make some kind of commitment to increase my speaking abilities. All right, number 2, learn vocabulary in context, not in isolation. That means, let's say you are really wanting to improve your vocabulary, but you just don't have a lot of time. One way that you can do that is to focus on the context, not necessarily the individual word. For example, let's say you are learning the word diagnose and you want to learn what that means. Instead of just having like a flashcard with just the word and the definition, it's so much better and so much more efficient to do it in a context. So for example, that same flashcard could have the word, but then also a sentence that goes with it. Like, the doctor diagnosed the patient with a rare condition. That gives you a lot more contextual clues, and it also helps with understanding the word in a much broader context. So it's a lot more efficient when you're on a tight schedule to develop your vocabulary that way, instead of just trying to memorize a whole bunch of words, especially in healthcare where these words can be critical. So if you're feeling like you're really tight on the schedule, it's so much better and so much more efficient to develop your vocabulary that way. All right, tip number 3, micro practice. It's so efficient. Micro practicing means instead of doing like a big chunk of time, like 30 minutes to an hour or 90 minutes, you break those times up into small bite-sized pieces. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. The point of that is to break it down so that way it can fit into your schedule. For example, some of the members in the academy, they work on their English on their lunch break, or some of them ride public transport. So they practice, maybe not speaking, but they practice listening, like a podcast or on their way to work or something like that. Those 5 to 10 minute chunks can make all the difference. Something that we do in the academy is called 1 minute English. And the way that it works is it's designed to help you think in English or think about your English in 1 minute or less. So a lot of people in the academy do that. If you are interested in joining us, it's a free academy for anyone in healthcare to join. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. I'm an Arabic learner and I am very busy between being a single mom and having my business, my YouTube channel. I'm a public speaker as well. So I'm very busy. My schedule is jam-packed. However, I'm able to incorporate learning my Arabic every day because I micro practice. And then eventually I'll get back into doing my classes. I'm finishing my Duolingo course before I get back to my classes. But anyway, that's what I do. I have 5 to 10-minute chunks a couple of times a day, and that really adds up. So in essence, I'm studying my Arabic over 30 minutes a day, and that is so helpful. So even if you can't micro practice for 30 minutes, that's okay. Even just 5 minutes a day can make all the difference in the world. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notified for more videos like these. All right, number 4, engage in real conversations. Now, this is very similar to number 1. Number 1 was just to prioritize it, right? Not focus so much on the textbook English, but focus on prioritizing it. Number 4 is putting that into action in any way that fits your busy schedule. Now, if you do have a time, like let's say maybe once a week to dedicate 30 to 60 minutes, then that would be a great way to find a language learning facility, find a partner, even just talking to your family or your kids in English. I have a member who said that she transformed her English just by talking to her kids in English at her house because her kids are at like a English language school in her country. And so a way for her to practice her English is just talking to them in English at home. She'll ask her kids, how was your day? What did you learn today? And so just doing that while she's cooking dinner is a way to engage in conversations. And that's another way of micro practicing as well. So if you have the time, do it. But if you don't have the time for 30 or 60 minutes, that's okay. You can still take full action by doing like one of my members did. She talks to her kids in English while she's cooking dinner. Another member works at a hospital. He's a doctor, and he intentionally speaks in English with 2 of his colleagues while they're eating lunch. Those are ways to engage in real live conversation when you don't have a lot of time. All right, finally, tip number 5, reframe your mistakes as growth. Now, some of you may be wondering why I'm including this one in trying to increase your fluency when you have a tight schedule, but hear me out. Everything that we do is influenced by our mindset. So if you go into this thinking, I don't have the time, I'm too busy, well, you're not going to have the time and you're going to be too busy. And then a year from now, you're still going to be in the same place that you're in now, which is what you don't want. But if you reframe it as an opportunity, being like, you know what, this is something that's really important to me and I'm going to find the time. Instead of focusing on the problem, you're now focusing on the solution. That's so much better because you're now bringing better energy into it. So instead of like the negative energy, like I just don't have the time, now you're like, I do have the time. I'm going to make the time. And that, just doing that can completely change your ability to incorporate it into your schedule. For example, I had a member and he swore up and down he had no time. He's a surgeon and he has staff and he has his own practice. He's very, very busy. And he was like, I'm really trying to increase my public speaking engagement, but my English is holding me back, but I'm busy. I don't have the time. Once he made the commitment to stop saying that to himself and saying, you know what, I'm going to find ways to incorporate this into my schedule, he changed his outlook. And then opportunities began presenting itself. Something that he did was he began having meetings in English with his staff because he doesn't live in an English-speaking country. He started taking more leadership roles outside of work to speak in English as well. So once he realized that, you know what, I'm the one that's saying that I don't have the time and that's holding me back, once he reframed that, then all of these ways to increase his fluency in his very tight schedule began popping up. So I challenge you to do that today. Change your mindset of, I don't have the time and I'm too busy, to, you know what, I'm going to find solutions even with the jam-packed schedule. Okay, to recap, prioritize speaking over having perfect grammar. Learn vocabulary and context, not just the individual words. Have a better or broader concept around the word. Micro practice. It works. I do it myself. Once you prioritize speaking, actively engage in conversations. You can do that through micro practicing. Don't focus so much on the problem of I don't have the time. Focus on the solution of I will make it work because it's important. And if you're ready to prioritize this and take action, I have a free 5-day Frustrated to Fluent challenge that's specifically designed for busy healthcare professionals. It's micro practicing, so they take between 5 to 15 minutes a day for 5 days, and it is designed to help you increase your fluency level and gain the confidence you need to communicate effectively. If you're interested in signing up, the link is in the description box below. All right, that is it. And if you're interested in checking out some more videos, they are right here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.